Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praises, all glory, all honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kadash, Barakatam. Giving double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS for pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, I say shalom. And even to the Akwat out there sitting and listening in silence, shalom. Alright, so we want to begin this video here about the fable John 3:16, right? I say fable because the belief behind what this verse actually talking about, or who it is this verse speaking about here, like it's shrouded in mystery. Like nobody could understand that this world here that's spoken about in John 3:16 not actually pertaining to all the people on the earth, but only pertaining to a select group of people. So to begin, we're gonna start by reading the verse John 3:16, right? For power the Most High Yahweh so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So we know this talking about when Yahweh Shai, right, got hung up on the cross and died for our sins, so that whoever would believe in him would not perish, but have everlasting life. Because we know Yahweh Shai name mean he is salvation, or he who saves, or he saves, right? So he was sent to save the people of the world, or not of the world, but save the world. And this world we're talking about is the Israelites. To prove this, right, first we want to define the term world. The word is cosmos, is G2889.
Strong's G2889. Cosmos. Cosmos.
Alright, so to define that word world, right, we're gonna go down to the eighth definition to get the understanding here, right? An aggregate or general collection of particulars of any sort. Now, when you look up the term aggregate, it basically is a whole formed by combining several separate elements and or general collection of particulars of any sort, right? So I'm going to define the term particular as well. Used to single out an individual member of a specific group or class. So having the understanding, right, you're going to read back the definition of the term world, or to the proper understanding. An aggregate, a whole formed by combining several separate elements. In this case, we're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel to form that whole people of Israel, right? Or general collection of particular special things. Particular basically meaning when you get single out, that make your arm out, it's a special, right? We is the Lord's special things. The people of Israel fit this description here. An aggregate or general collection of particulars of any sort being like the rest of the world, right? So that all the people in the world, the particular people of the world, when they combine, the 12 tribes of Israel combined become that particular special thing that belongs to the Lord. And we want to prove this, right? To prove this, we want to go back into this John 3:16, but read high up. And we want to start at verse 10, right? Yahushua answered and said unto him, Art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not. How shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man, which is in heaven. The point here, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. The point being in 14, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. What we see in here, he likened his crucifixion, I don't say if I say that word correct, or he likened the fate that he know he was going to suffer being in the world, to the same. It's supposed to be viewed in the same light like when Moses lifted up that serpent in the wilderness. We're gonna pull this in Numbers 21. So here's the question, right? That's not, I could read it here. I could read it here and then we could go in. We could read from verse 6. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Israel, right? Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, which is our sin, and against thee pray unto the Lord Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, that he take away the serpent from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And we know them people is the Israelites. We just said it was in verse 6, right? So, if we liken in the lifting up of the Son of Man, and let me say the believing, right? You have to lift him up in your mind and believe on him and know that he is salvation, and he will bring salvation, and he will bring the people of Israel unto Yahweh for forgiveness, and through him is how we can get the forgiveness by Hashem Yahushai, in the name of Yahushai. When look at it, he just literally said the same way how it happened in the wilderness with the people of Israel is how it had happened when we basically look how he get lifted up. So he likening it as the same thing. So if basically the people who viewed our serpent in the wilderness is who get healed, and them people is the Israelites. How it is any man in the world who's not an Israelite could look at Yahushai or believe in Yahushai and then say, well, that is for he, that's salvation, and that belief in him so he won't perish and have that everlasting life is for he, if the serpent who get lifted up was only for the people of Israel. How you making that conclusion in your mind? How you making that assumption? That false and that wrong. Now, people could say, well, I say Israel is the world, right? Them is the world to Yahweh. Them is who mean the world to Yahweh. And they could say that false. They could say, you can't prove that, but I can't. Because we know, when you read the Bible, likening people to worlds is something we don't see in the Bible. First instance, we're going to get us here. We're going to go in Psalms chapter 147, right? And the last two verses. He sheweth his word unto Jacob. Jacob is Israel. Read Genesis chapter 32 and verse 28. Read Genesis chapter 35 and verse 10. You'll get that. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel, right? So Jacob, Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Look, it's saying it here. He never show his judgments. He never gave no statutes to no other nation but Israel. But I thought Israel was a nation. So what it's saying basically here is that he never gives statutes, judgments, commandments, nothing. He never gave nothing to nobody else, no other nation in the world. But we could prove that he gave that to Israel. So is that not in a way automatically saying that Israel is the world? I'm going to prove that he gave these judgments, these statutes to Israel. We could go in Exodus. I'm going to go in chapter 24 and the first verse. And he said unto Moses, Come up unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai hath said, we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, the same Israelites. And they said, all that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai had said, we will do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai hath made with you concerning all these words. So basically here we know all the covenants, all the laws, all the statutes, all the commandments, we get it. And I just say in Psalm chapter 147, all the judgments, all the covenants, all that, no other nation has received that. He had not dealt with any other nation, at any nation, and with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise Yahweh. In verse 19, he shewed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So that right there, that chop right there, it proves that, well, he now say he get to another nation, we know he get to Israel. So if Israel is not a nation, then what are we? Well, we could go to Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17 to back this claim of Israel being the world, right? The Isaiah chapter 45 and the 17th verse. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So we see in here the subject of the sentence, Israel, just get likened and saying that we will not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Now compare we to the world. We now get compared to the world here. So if we being compared here to the world in Isaiah 45 and 17, how it is we not the world in John 3:16? We could even go to Wisdom of Solomon, right? The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and Salak and the fourth verse. Right. For they were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness, who had kept thy sons shut up, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world. What? The light of the law, the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world? Well, we now read in Exodus chapter 24 and Psalms 147, the last two verses 19 and 20. He gave the law to Israel. So then what? And it said the law was to be given unto the world. Again, Israel being likened to the world. We could go in second Ezra, right? To show that people does be likened to the world, right? Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Well, if you end something, right? Even Esau, he now get likened to our world. If you end something, what that does mean? Not that something does start one time. We know when the world come into an end, and Yahweh coming to bring his judgments in let me say the showpiece event in Revelation, right? We know that go and end the world. Well, if that end the world and something else had to start, the new world gonna start. It just say it. And Jacob is the beginning of that world. We're gonna start when this world ends. So what? Again, people being likened unto worlds. This is not new. The world is Israel. Now, some people gonna come, and the model they have for that is that, well, this whole world could be Israel, or so that Israel could be everybody in the world included in that John 3:16. Cause they wanna pull this Romans chapter 9 and verse 4, right? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High Yahweh, Basham Yahushai, and the promises. Well, so basically what it is these people believe when they read that verse. One, they're misreading it, and I could explain why after, but basically what they believe is that somehow you could be adopted and become an Israelite if you follow the laws and the statutes and the commandments in the Bible. Like if you follow the 10 commandments or whatever it is, wrong. That is not what that's saying. And we could prove this, right? We're gonna go into the alright, so we was on the Romans 9 and 4, right? And we want to define this term pertain and this term adoption to give you a better understanding of what being said in Romans 9 and 4. And I read in it here, who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption. So we're going to define that term pertaineth, and we're going to define that term adoption, and I could give you a better understanding of what they're saying. There is the online etymology dictionary, and I look up the word pertain. Early 14th century, pertainen, be attached legally, from Old French paterner. So they the origins of this word pertain, to belong to. So we know pertain means to belong to. We're gonna go to the word adoption. Now they mid 14, they the origins of the word adoption, mid 14th century. Adoption, action of taking a child as one's own, condition of being adopted, from Old French adoption, or directly from Latin adoptionem, as taken as one's child, shorter form of adoptatio, noun of or noun of action, from past participle stem of Latin, adopta, choose for oneself, take by choice, select, adopt. So basically the term adoption is like the result of being adopted. You've been chosen, you've been selected. We know pertain means to belong to. So let me read this precept again with the better understanding of what these words say. Who are Israelites? This is our question. To whom, or not rather a question, but they're telling you who the Israelites are, so that to whom belong to the selection and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. And we just read in Exodus chapter 24, the Israelites who was given these laws and make that blood oath with when Moses sprinkled the blood on the altar and sprinkled the blood at the sacrificial oxen onto the people of Israel. We know it's the people of Israel. We just read it. So we know the people of Israel fit this bill. This is not saying that you could like follow the laws or some so and sacrifice some calf or something some way and sprinkle blood all over the places using an Israelite that could make you an Israelite. This adoption already happened and we could prove it. We wanna go to Deuteronomy chapter 32 and we go verse 8, right? The Most High Yahweh divided to the nations their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel for the Lord's portion. So he's saying as he make everybody, he separate everybody, and he take his portion. All the people of Israel, all the number of the people of Israel, he take them and say, this is mine. So it's like I could draw an analogy. If let me say we go on some dinner, some banquet, wherever, right? Whoever listening, we go on some dinner, we go on some banquet, and it have a big pot of food, and we share out plates of food. And I doing the sharing out, and I pick up the spoon, wherever, and I give you food on your plate. That is your portion. That belong to you. That is yours. And whoever else I give portions to, wherever on them plate is them own. But if we wanna liken that to basically we say sharing food to the Most High, he food is Israel. You know, you don't care about nobody else food. You don't care about Moab, you don't care about Ammon, you don't care about Esau, you don't care about nobody else. He the name of he food, the name of he plate to the food on it, that Israel. Everybody else fuck off. Everybody else mother cunt. He found him right, so like for the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob, the lot of his inheritance. He inherited us, he chose us, he picked us. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste hollow wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. The choice pick, the favorite. Jacob is like the favorite son. Among all the tribes, all the people, where everybody come from, everybody bowels, where everybody come from. So not bowels, so like everybody loins. The people who come from the loins are Jacob, them is the people the Lord wanted. And we could go right to Isaiah 14. So like that could be for later verse. So we go to Psalms, same 147. Let's come up again. He shewed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his commandments, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt with any nation, as for his judgments they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Again, showing. He showed all the things will belong to Israel in Romans 9 and chapter 4, the statutes, the commandments, the laws, the covenants, all that. He showed that to Jacob. So this is like honestly proof, not just with the blood oaths and thing. Remember how we agreed that we would keep these covenants. Well, right, he showed them to Jacob. So if he showed them to Jacob with the adoption, it's like a signing a contract. And in let me say this, right, I saying I want to give you my bike. I buy a bike and I want to give you it. So you want to choose or adopt this bike to be yours. But I say I draw up a contract and in the contract it have let me say terms of the agreement. We call it that. And I say, if you want this bike, you gotta adhere to and keep all these agreements, which in this case the bike is Israel, and the agreements is the covenant, and the man who picking this bike and choosing this bike is Yahweh. So long he could keep this bike, and this is his bike, and as long as the bike do what it's supposed to do, then the bike could stay with Yahweh, and he could keep it. He could keep it as he own. So that basically fit the bill. Who are the Israelites, to whom belong to the adoption and the giving of the law and the covenants and all that? Again, showing in Psalms 147, we were the ones who was given that covenant. We could go to the book of Sirach. The book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 17, right? For in the division of the nations of the whole earth he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion. Again, being called the Lord's portion. We've been through, remember the word adoption really means to select or choose or pick. The Lord picked us. He didn't pick anybody else. So that world which we've been likened to, the world that he picked, who is the world to him, is Israel. You could even go to you could go, some people could say, alright, so how it is, let me say for instance, right, the Lord wanted to pick somebody else. How it is we know he didn't pick anybody else? Well, we could go to Isaiah chapter 14. And the first verse. For the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So let me say, for some imaginary instance, that some happen in the earth and thing new, right? And the Lord have all the groups of people in the world that he have to pick, and he had to choose out of all the groups of the people of the world who it is he could pick, right, to be he people. Well, let's say again, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will. So if some people want to say, well, how that adoption didn't happen yet, there's like some, like if you some people could say, well, we just had to follow the laws of the Bible, and we just had to follow the commandments, and even if we's not Israelites and we didn't come from Abraham, from the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob, we could still get choose that we did, like they want to say that adoption didn't happen yet. Well, if adoption was to happen again, because it already happened, if we say adoption was to happen again, it says here he will have mercy on Jacob, and he will yet choose Israel. As again, Jacob is Israel. Genesis 32 and 28, Genesis 35 and 10. Jacob is Israel. So if the Lord ever had to pick any group of people again to be he people, if you want to say that adoption didn't happen yet, well, he would pick Israel again. And we know he picked Israel before. I already read it out, but just to finish off, we are going to go to Exodus chapter 6 and go read from verse 6, right? Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm, and with great judgments, and I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God. Yahweh literally saying, he's we God. Nobody else could say that the Most High Yahweh is anybody God except for the God of Israel, and we's he people. He just took us. And I will take you. Yeah, he just take us. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, your power, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. So it said right there. If you want to say that adoption didn't happen yet, it could happen again. Isaiah 14:1 says so. And if you want to say, and we know the adoption already happened because it happened since he made the promises with Abraham, and we probably let me say the promises come into light in Exodus when he literally tell the people of Israel, I take you to me for a people and I will be your God. So Yahweh is we God and we is Yahweh people. Is nobody else God and nobody else is he people. So John 3:16 when it say, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting salvation. We is that world. That Israel is that world. Nobody else. And with that I like to say I hope this lesson, Lord's willing, was edifying. And I'll see you in the next one, giving all praise, all glory, all honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Ruach Barakatum. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS for pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, I say shalom. And even to the aquat out there sitting and listening in silence, shalom.